You ready? What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for joining us for another episode from Live from Broke to Millions, man. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. This is the podcast for those who want to learn about real estate investing, whether you are a novice or an experienced investor, whether you're accredited or non-accredited. I will show you all the simple steps on how you can do deals. Whether you want to turn it around, we can help you do it right here, especially if I can get my video. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for joining us. Today, I'm live in Raleigh, North Carolina. And look, I got my halo, and it's cold in this room, man. That bald head can't take all that, man. But thanks so much for joining us. We're going to have a great time. We got a great episode here for you. But first, let's give it up for my man, the audio and visual, Walt Potty the Piper. What's up, brother?
What's happening? What's happening?
How you doing, man?
I am in a really good mood, man.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I feel really good. I got like a halo. I feel like Jesus right now. And then I got my flowers, man.
I see you out here, man, looking floralish.
Hey, man, Raleigh, North Carolina got it going on. Hey,
man,
we talk about, you talk about job creation. This is the new tech hub of the U.S., man. Unbelievable. Everywhere I go, so much development. Hey, but look, man, we can't leave my main man out of the picture, man. All the way from the Philippines, my man, Window the Goose, nah. How come we can't get like a real echo, man?
Yeah, we should have that sound effect soon. So, Mike, people are, like this topic is probably the hottest topic that we've ever talked about.
Really?
Yeah, because it's all about money. People want to know how to get the money, right?
Yeah, man. Where the money at? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Yeah. So the main topic, guys, for today is how to raise private capital, even if all your friends and family are broke. Okay. And then we will talk about the next part is a success interview with one of our mastermind members. And he retired at age 34 because of real estate.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so we will interview him. His name is Brian Adamson. And then Daryl Mansa, one of the newest members of our mastermind. He found a deal in New York. And I think this one is a good deal, Mike. So far, Tim Best likes it. I like it, but let's see what you think about it. And then lastly, guys, wait until the very end of the show. Because for me, it's the most important part of the show. I call it Mike's Millionaire Mindset Monologue, because you can learn all these techniques, right? You can learn how to buy properties with no money down, how to attract private investors. But if you don't believe that these techniques will work for you, you won't implement them and you won't get the results. But when you are surrounded by the right people and you listen to the right people in your life, then things will happen. So I don't want to steal Mike's thunder there, but
hey, man, man. Let's highlight. Hey, man. Walt, will you play Where the Money Reside, man? Because they need to hear this, man.
All right, we going. Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside?
Hey, man, we're going to talk about getting this money and talk about getting money. Like I said, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hey, man, I'm ready to pack up my bags and leave Ohio right now. If my kids were in school, I would leave. Like, seriously, there's so much money out there. Some of you just look at buildings and just be like, oh, that's a nice building. I literally, my eyes were like wide open the whole time I'm doing a tour. Like, there's so many jobs out here that it all does the spirit development. Apple's coming here, a new German company with a tech electric car is coming here.
Is that Polestar? Is that Polestar or VW?
I don't know I don't even remember. But it was so many different companies, so many startups all coming to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Isn't Apple moving out that way too?
Apple is, we just rode past a new potential campus. Well, they ain't potential. They're going to break ground this summer right there.
Right.
The average job is $180,000.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. Like it's just growing, and then there's going to be more demand for housing. A lot of you be like, well, how do you know where to build? Where the jobs are.
Yep.
And the jobs are right here. Not just Raleigh, but Durham, Chapel Hill, biotechnologies. Okay, I'm going on a tangent. I'm gonna stop. Let's stick to it. But we did have one question before we even got started. Is quiet. Are there Zoom gatherings? Okay, I'll let you answer that one. That's Jose Garcia had a question in there.
Yeah. Well,
and then whatchamacallit raised his hand already. All right, everybody's excited. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, listen, just because you see my halo behind my head, I am not Jesus, but I am Mike Ely, baby. All right.
So Mike Ely is the Black Jesus. Everyone's thinking that. I just said it.
Yeah. Hey, Black. Hey, but have you seen Black Jesus? That's a hilarious show. That's a hilarious show. Hey, let's get this started, Wendell. Walt. Let's go, man.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. There it is.
There it is, man. How to raise millions in private capital, even if all your friends and family are broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in case you don't know me, hey, man, I've been investing since 1999. I lost it all in 2002, 2003. And look, it wasn't the recession. I lost it because I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have reserve or escrow money. But then I recovered and restarted all. But during that process of recovering, I was homeless. I was couch surfing. And finally, I put it back together. Now we got over 1,500 apartment units, over 40 houses, industrial parcels of land. And we just officially closed on the land for our $81 million hotel condo project.
Nice.
Now, I know some of you, I've been talking about, we found another project for 100, that was going to be 180 million, but worth 300 million. And let me tell you how crazy this market is. That project in Florida was a $37 million acquisition. The project, now, first of all, the project was set up, we gave him exactly what he asked for. He said, give me 17 million and I'll finance the balance over a 5-year period, right? So look, same strategies I talk about. We had some owner finance and everything. A buyer out of Canada came in and said, I'll give you 38 million cash in 90 days. I said, well, damn.
What?
It's competitive everywhere. So, but we're going to find a new development. We got multiple developments coming here, but here we go. Just in the past 3 months, we attracted over $10 million for 3 hotels just through social media. Social media has really changed our behavior and our way of life. And this is how I met some of my newest partners. My partner from Bolivia, my partners from Raleigh, all through social media. This is where it's at. A lot of my students that are successful, social media. Look, today the goals for this training is number 1, the fastest way for real estate investors to attract private investors is through social media. And we're going to talk about that. And number 2, we're going to talk about the new model. Is that how you say it? New model? Or should I just say new? I'm so extra. The new model. You know, hold on. Let me put because we're about to fight today. You got to get ready. We're going to learn how to pop, knock this money out, baby. Get your game for me.
Mike looks like a boxer.
Yeah, man, because we ready to fight, brother. I'm going to show you how to get this money, man. So I'm going to put y'all in training, all right? That's why I got the hoodie on today, because we ready to train. Look, social media is the fastest way to attract private capital for real estate investors. Man, look at this, man. From 2017 to expected to 2025. Is that the billions?
Yeah. Billion.
Is that billions?
Mm-hmm.
Globally, 4.4 billion people by 2025 are going to be using social media, and they're going to be on there for at least 2 hours
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's
A
another.
day?
Yeah, there's another slide that shows that. Yeah.
Let's go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide to show that.
Yep. There you go. Exactly.
Total minutes spent on social media per day is 152 minutes, which is 2 hours almost.
2.5
No,
hours.
it's more than 2 hours.
Yeah. It's 2.5 hours and 2 minutes to be exact.
And what's so great about social media can also put you in an environment, in an arena that you would never been able to tap into. Back in the day, the only way you were going to meet other people of volume is through a conference, or you got on live radio or someone's live television show. Now you have superstars that nobody heard of that's probably got 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million followers and never been on a major network.
That's true. That's true. And before everyone thinks that you need to have millions of followers to do this, no, that's not true.
That is so untrue.
Even if you have 100 followers, you can actually raise private capital through social media.
Hey, Wendell, I think you just threw him a right hook, brother. You don't even need a lot of followers, like we said, man. Just a couple, man, and you can knock it out. Now, listen, just like everything, social media is good. Social media is good. But look, if you got children, hey, this is your warning. Make sure you're monitoring their activities, okay? I'm a daddy, I know. Hey, let's go to the next one. All right, so look, but a lot of investors don't know how to use media right? They go begging for money. Man, look, you can't be begging, man. Don't nobody want, like when you see somebody begging in the street, man, they be like, hey, stay away. What's the same on social media? I don't want to deal with them. And look, this doesn't even really look like begging, but it is. My team and I are looking for investors and equity partners for our first deal. First of all, this was a real post. Second, they got real lemons on here. That says so much bad things right here. I got a lemon deal and I'm looking for investors. All right. Look, number two, the other thing, man, when you're advertising, there's a certain way you have to do things, because if not, you could potentially illegally be raising capital and have an issue with the SEC, Security Exchange Commission. All right. You don't want that problem. You don't want that problem. All right. And number three, investors don't invest with somebody with no experience or track record. Look, somebody said lemons are number 4. Yeah. I mean, again, that's the other thing about raising capital. You gotta have some experience. Like, people call me all the time, want to step with me, like, Mike, I want to invest. And the first thing I'm like, it's not that I won't want to. I'm like, but what's your experience? What's your track record? Or what's your team? Like, it don't even have to be you. Do you know somebody that runs it? Do you know how to analyze it? Can you talk the language? I mean, you can, but if you go to France, right, and all you speak is English, I'm not saying you won't be able to communicate with people, but if you go there only speaking English, you're limiting your outreach, right? And so if you can't talk the development language, the real estate language, internal rate of return, cash on cash, equity multiples, square foot, you're limiting your potential of working with other individuals. I'm a perfect example. When I didn't know the equity metrics or the cash flow or the demographics of the neighborhood, a lot of not necessarily investors, but institutions, banks, whatever, they passed on me. And I had a great deal. It was so great, I could have picked it up for 24 million, and the next person bought it for 32 million, flipped it for 45 million. That's how great it was. Flipped it, didn't even do anything. All right, let's go to the next one, man. So instead of begging for money, like, please, your posts have to Number one, build credibility. And when you build a little credibility, boom, that's like a jab, right? Boom, you kind of keeping that like, oh, I see it. And it builds your team partners. And once you build credibility, people will begin to like with you and they want to connect with you, right? They'll start liking your pages. And look, let me restate that. During this whole time, I know some of you, and this is what we mean by you don't have to have 20,000, 50,000, $100,000 followers. Keep posting. Because I know when we first started posting, well, we had like 10, 50 views and we grown, but I know sometimes we ain't getting no likes, but there's a lot of people that are watching and don't respond to you at all. And Rodrigo, my partner now, Rodrigo provides a lot of value. He had been watching us for a year, never responded to anything. And one day he gives us a call. Next thing you know, we're doing deals.
I didn't.
Right?
I didn't know that it took him a year before he even contacted you, Mike. That's awesome.
Yeah.
that's
so my point is, people are watching you. Just keep providing good content, showing credibility. And I'm telling you, in due time, people reach out. And for some of you, they'll respond that day. We'll show examples of that later. So look, the goal is to get people to want to chat with you. And when they do, that's when you sell them or tell them about your deals. But right now, you just want to make an intro. Like, this is what I'm doing. And look, it works. I got more and more people reaching out to people outside of inside of our circle, wanting to know more about what we do, wanting to know if they can be a part of and invest. So it works. Next one. So look, to build your credibility or the credibility of your team of partners, man, you got to educate them. Just like I do today, man. If you educate your people about real estate investing, you do blogs, you cite articles, or provide information about deals. The good thing about me, I had some deals that I could share, real experiences. But look, even if you don't have deals, that doesn't mean you can't educate people. I didn't have big deals when I first started teaching. I started teaching, and I ran into one of my students at the conference I did this past weekend. Was that this past week? Yeah, this past weekend. They actually took one of my first courses and I taught them about doing large projects, even though I haven't done one before. But you educate them and you show them different ways, and you can literally just duplicate a post. Look, matter of fact, there's multiple social media pages. All they do is literally copy and paste the exact same post and put it on their platform.
Yep, we do the same thing, Mike.
Yeah, and we grow. Hell, some of them posts have been our better likes. I was like, apparently they don't like. But the point is, they know we find all the great information related to real estate or mindsets posted on our page so we can spread the message. And they know that message came from us.
Yeah, but we do cite the source though. That's the thing.
Yes.
We give credit to where credit is due. But it's amazing that when you do that and people like the post, they, like two things happen. You get the other person who brought the post before, the original source of the post also increases in credibility, and he liked the fact that you reshared his or her post. So.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. We're in the growing business. And you know what? Here's the thing. The more you give, the more you get in return. Quite frankly, the more we share, our followers grew actually on posts we shared. So, man, just give, my people. Today, be someone that gives. All right, here's an example of an educational post. This was a deal I did in Oklahoma. I talked about how we did it with no money down, about assumption fee, about why we did it through COVID, why we assumed it versus bringing debt. One of our biggest posts.
Yeah, in fact, It's our most viral post on LinkedIn. We got like over 51,000 views when our
That now is that bigger than our failure post?
well, yeah. In fact, this is the biggest one.
Oh
51,000
wow.
views. And at that time, we only have like 2,000 connections.
Oh,
Yeah. So this really went viral.
okay. All right. Let's go on to the next one. And look, man, all of you on Instagram, well, not Instagram today, but Facebook, in our groups, on Zoom right now. Look, I always like to know where you're from, where you're checking in from. I love the thumbs up. I love the hearts. If you shoot me love, all right, we'll shoot it back. And but no, let us know where you're from, where you're checking in from. And any questions you have, man, thanks for checking in. Rodriguez from California, Louisville, Kentucky, Patel, man, he's always checking in. That's my man. Tracy from Canada. I know. Boy, she about to get it in. We got Raleigh, North Carolina, man. Charlotte, West, what's up, everybody? Hampton, Terrence, okay. So yeah, man, check in. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that's a nice place.
This is also in Canada.
Cool. I like Canada, man. Hey, I was in Lake Louise, and those were beautiful mountains up there. Dallas, okay. Hey, well, look, here's an example of another educational post. Miami, Florida, Tim Vest. Tim at the time did not have any major followers. He just started. And look, all he did was educate people on syndication and what it was about. And from there, he started gathering investors, all just by educating people. I mean, that's the great thing about social media. We just started blogging. Well, Bigger Pockets, is that right, Win? And we did it for about 6 months until we got booted off. But that's okay.
Probably 9 months before you got booted out. Right. Because we can advertise.
Yeah. Bigger Pockets don't want you to advertise. But no, I mean, here's the thing. Even if you don't have experience, educate your people. And by educating them on what you do, and look, you don't even have to make it about you. Just share what it is that you're accomplishing, and you only have to say it's you. And as they educate you, they begin to become comfortable with you. And as they become comfortable with you, they want to communicate with you. Next thing you know, they may want to be your investor. Maybe they'll bring you a deal because that's what you've been talking about. You got to share your message.
And what I like about Tim is that, he actually shares other people's posts or other people's blog articles or blog posts. And he sometimes shares news, like real estate, investing news. So a lot of times the posts that he has are not even his original post, or, so you don't have to create this 20,000 word blog post, that you research for 3 months before you post on social media. Just cite news articles out there, what's happening in the North Carolina market. I mean, I'm sure there are 10,000 articles about that by now, right? So you just cite the latest one, and then give your own twist to it.
Yeah, I mean, even that, you don't even have to go too deep. Hey, today the feds are adjusting rates. What do you think that would do to the market?
Go. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's
hey, cap rates.
Post. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cap rates are suppressed in apartments. Do you think it'll do that in hotels? And look, who cares if anybody doesn't respond? Keep posting, right? Look, that's all you got to do is keep it simple. I'm the guy. And look, guess what? You can do this. All right. I'm gonna tell you a secret. All right. I'm gonna tell you a secret. Anybody looking? I don't want nobody to know. You don't. We already told you can copy and paste, but you don't even have to write your own blogs. You can get you a ghostwriter. Yeah. You can get somebody to write a blog for you. Imagine that, right? So look, just get the information out there. That's the whole point. All right. Let's go to the next one. So look, man, to get people to like you and connect with you, hey, man, a part of this new model is you can put posts out there that engage, encourage, and entertain, right? Ask people I just shared that, what they think about the deal. wise person, wise person to you. And what's funny about that? Look, that's what this group is about. Everybody's in there talking about where can you find ghostwriter, Upwork. And then what's the one we use? Fever. There you go. Fiverr. So look, anything you need, it's out there. All right, just ask and we'll share it. And you know what? Share that in apartment investing secrets as well. I don't care. Duplicate it. We want everybody we want to engage, encourage, and entertain, baby. And that's what we're doing right here. Just these small things that we're doing, I'm entertaining you, I'm engaging you, and I'm encouraging you. See how simple that was? So you do that, you'll begin to increase more followers. Let's go to the next one. Here's another example post. And look, this wasn't even my post. I just shared it. And she's got, look, Keisha Kennedy just shared what she did. She's like, look, I sat with my two coaches, John Kastner, Mike Ely, shared strategy. She brought the family down. She took a picture. This was one of her biggest posts. And how many investors did she get off of this call? Oh, this one post?
Yeah, I think like over 20 people reach out to her. And then today she has like over 500 in her mailing list, which is like, mind blown. It's like, man, she's good.
I mean, look, do you see how, look at this. Let me count how many words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's say 60 words, 70 words, maybe 100. And nothing, she didn't say nothing spectacular here. She just said, I'm with my coaches. I had lunch. It was very impactful. And then she asked the question, what strategies are you implementing? And I shared it with my little brother. That's it. I don't think that was complex.
Yep, anyone can do this. Like literally anyone. As long as you know how to read and write, you can do this. But you need to know how to do it. That's the thing that we're kind of giving you some of, like, a little bit of preview on that one, some examples,
Yeah, and this was an example of how she engaged people, right? By asking, what strategies are you implementing? She kind of entertained people, sharing with her life. And she somewhat educated them because she put that financial freedom. And I promise you, she didn't probably put that much effort into it. But I'm just pointing out some of the 3 things she did there. She engaged by talking. She educated, like, I'm hanging with a coach. So which now people are like, what's a coach? Why do you need a coach, right? So all great things and very simple. It's not difficult. And look, sometimes you want to find out all those different things, but look, don't overthink it. Just start doing it. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh my goodness, right? Y'all always get me bad. Can they see the whole picture there? That's me when I'm broke. And I'm sharing, my trial and errors, man. That's literally, I moved back home and I still had a headboard with a sailboat. Can you imagine that, 30 years old with a sailboat? Yeah, you can't see it. Any way you can pull that up a little bit, Walt?
That's the actual slide.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
No, I mean the actual slide contains
the picture.
Yeah, but somehow
that's not,
Zoom it's not showing up completely.
Yeah, you can't zoom into that, but that's okay. It's a picture of me being a buster. All right, I'm stuck out.
No, there's a picture of Mike when he was so broke, he was literally homeless and had to go move back with his mom and dad at what, age 30?
Yeah.
And sleep on that old bed with a
but at least they upgraded a little bit when I got there. All right, let's go to the next one, man.
No, but that's an example of telling a story, like something real that happened to you, and people can relate to that.
Yes. So look, man, we help our mastermind members attract private investors through social media. Isn't it impolite to repost from someone that's direct connection on LinkedIn? Wouldn't that? I don't know. We'll come back. That's the answer to that question. Yeah, we'll talk about that. That's a great question. Tim's Vest Group, he raised over $4 million. And look, listen to this. Well, I'm gonna come back to Tim. I'm to Keisha Kennedy. Now has over 20 investors. We just talked about that. Hey, give me a drum roll, Walt. Give me a drum roll. Is it playing? I don't know. I can't hear it.
Oh, you can hear it?
Oh, there it is. Okay, I couldn't hear. Okay, so listen. Drum roll. Thank you. Hey, somebody gave me a drum roll. Tim Vest. He's been with us, what, 14, 16 months?
Yeah, maybe 18 months by now.
He is leaving his job officially in 2 weeks.
Woohoo! Congrats, Tim.
And yes, that's a round of applause. He's leaving his job. That's so amazing, man. I'm so excited. And you remember, Tim asked, Mike, do you really think I could do this?
Yeah, actually, he asked you that question. Yep.
He was like, I don't know. And he didn't want to raise money. I said, Tim, you got to raise money. You got to talk to people. He's like, yeah, it's like, man, I'm such an introvert. I don't want to do that, man. He's left his job. He's leaving. And guess what? He worked it out. They even gave him a package to leave.
Nice.
Because he was planning on leaving earlier. And his boss is like, if you stay, I'll make it worth your while. I need you to help me with this project. And listen, giving more of yourself. And guess what? They end up offering him a package. So they paid him to stay his regular salary in an extra 6 months. It doesn't get any better, man. I'm so happy. Man, give another round of applause for Tim Vest, man. And Keisha Kennedy is next, but there's plenty more students that are succeeding just like that. Plenty more, man. This is so encouraging. And you guys ask what I get out of it. Man, the more I help other people, the more I grow. I grow exponentially, right? I move into a supernatural realm. That's why I got my halo. Black Jesus, baby. Black Jesus. All right, let's go to the next one, man. Okay, I guess y'all not laughing. I don't know. Are y'all laughing in the chat? Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, boy. Yeah. All right, and look, Tim and Keisha's experience are not unique. Look at this, George Fry. I mean, he did a post. He had no followers. 9 million through and some investors through Facebook. Let's go to the next one. Now this is someone. Now look, Madeline didn't have no followers. She just was on Twitter, and her first step of action. And this guy says, "I can invest $100,000," and she didn't even ask. Can you imagine if she asked for money? She didn't even ask. She just shared what she was doing, and the guy was like, "Yo, I'll give you 100."
And actually,
can you imagine? Go ahead.
Actually, Mike, what Madeline said was that when he was asked by the investor, like, how much do you want? And she said like 100 is the minimum to invest. And so it's like if she did not like set that limit, she probably can get more. But 100,000 is a good start.
Yeah, man, it's just an amazing start. Hey, can you envision yourself doing this? Yes or yes? Can you envision yourself? I can. I got 2 hands up. Look, imagination is everything. A BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. But it starts in your mind, man. Imagination is a trailer of what's going to happen. All right, it's a preview of what's going to happen in the future. So just start. But look, I don't want you dreaming. I want you taking action steps. These guys took action steps. They got a coach. And look, I don't care. Look, I'd love for you to come coach in our program. But look, our program's not for everyone, right? It doesn't matter. I just want you to change your economics. I want you to change your paradigm for your family. I want you to make your own decisions and not be forced by the 9 to 5, okay? Or the 8 to 5, or some of you 10 to 10, all right? I want you to get out there, make your own decisions, be your own boss, but look, leverage your team. Is this for you? Yes or yes? Yes! Yeah.
You sound like that politician who lost the election because of yeah. When was that? During like Obama's time, I think he campaigned against Obama or something.
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
it was first or second term, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
man. No, I'm just so excited. And like, listen, man, I the reason I'm so excited, I started when I started with a single family house. No, two family, I'm sorry. I was
Yes.
house hacking. And and when I read a book, all I really wanted to do was get 2 or 3 properties so I could live free and have just a little more cash flow. That was it. I wanted to live free and then like have no expenses. And those first 2 deals, really 3 deals, I bought a 2-family and then 2 4-families side by side. The one let me live free. The other 4 families, I was net like $800 a month. I paid my car payment, my insurance, my gas for the car, my utilities for my home, and I had an extra $100 left. So then my paycheck, which I wasn't making much because I just took a job, I was netting $1,500 a month straight to me, just straight to me. I went from making $1,500, and by the time I paid all my bills, only having $200 left to having my own check. That was real estate. And then from there, I took an L, but now we're doing 81 million in developments, but with more in the pipeline.
That's crazy, Mike.
And even owning tech companies and businesses, like, but it was all from a dream, an imagination. I just sat there and thought about all the things I wanted, and I took action. Now, look, you need hope, but hope is not a strategy. Listen here, man. Well, let's go to the next one. We'll talk about that. I don't want to keep going, man. All right. So look, man, what you learn is just all 4 of our new model, man. Modeling to attract millions in private capital, right? You got to network, and then you got to engage, entertain, say what?
Educate.
Educate. What's the other one? I can't see it. Engage, educate, entertain.
Encourage.
Encourage. There you go. And you see me encouraging. All right. I am entertaining because this jacket is entertaining. All right. All right. And we're educating. All right. So look, man, that's how you do it. And look, you don't always have to be about real estate, man. People want to know you're normal. People want to see what you do, right? Look,
yeah.
This picture was during COVID, and I was dreaming about when this was all over, how I'm going to Cuba, and I'm gonna have my cigar. I got a cigar. I got my Cuba hat on. I got my linen shirt and pants. So it just shows I'm having fun and I am cool. Does the cigar make me look cool, or is the hat? Or maybe it was the beard, or maybe it's the glasses. I don't know. Maybe it's Mike Ely. All right.
Yeah.
So
To recap, Mike. So guys, don't just have one type of post, like you educate like the entire 365 days a year, but have a variety of posts, and that's where the 4 E's come in. So when you educate people, that builds your credibility. When you encourage, entertain, and engage, people connect with you and like you. And then the combination of the two, people trusting you and liking you, will lead people to want to connect with you via Zoom or on the phone, and you build from there. So never did we ask for like, hey, give us $100,000 in our social media posts, right, Mike? It's more like, this is who Mike is. This is what he does. If you like him, great. If not, move on to someone else, right? And then people basically like throwing money at Mike because, hey, Mike, I see what you're doing. Now you're in hotels. It's very interesting. Let's talk, right? So like quite literally, we don't actually entertain everyone who reaches out because Mike doesn't have all the time in the world to do that. So can you imagine that, guys? Like, money is there, but sometimes you actually turn money down. That's crazy. That's the power of this new model. So,
hey man, this is great, man. And look, it's all a team. Look, I can't do it by myself. Even with this podcast, Wendell, Walt, and I've read books. And then, but the bottom line, no matter what you do, just be yourself. What you get is me. All right. I'm full of energy. Now I will say when I'm done entertaining, I'm probably in the corner just quiet and working. But
in the corner.
hey, but look, you put me in the party, it's going down. If we out and about, when we at a real estate conference, we at a party, anyway, I'm gonna turn it up. But then I'm gonna shut down. I'm just telling you that. But hey, let's go on to the next one, man. What we got? So look, man, we teach our mastermind members how to raise private capital. In fact, we help people raise money. Like I jump on a call for some of my students when they're having trouble. They don't know how to speak to the investor. I talk to them and guide them step by step on how to raise private money. Look, if you want to join the...
I think you did that with Tim, right? Like maybe 3 times, like you're on a 3-way call with one of Tim's
go ahead.
investors.
Yeah, /waitlist. So you go to nassauinvest.com/waitlist. We are going to open the class back up here shortly. And so that you can join. And look, man, we're looking for people that are humble and hungry. Hungry, humble, and coachable. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Look, if you're humble, hungry, and coachable, look, this could be the course for you, but we don't take everybody. Look, I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs, all right? So look, let's get it going. Look, if you want to educate, and look, maybe you don't need all that, but get a book. Get our book and learn how to go from broke-to-millions.com and get the book and learn how I used all these different methods to obtain real estate. But look, if you really want to learn some more coaching, you want to do these deals, and you want a little hand holding, go to nassauinvest.com/waitlist. Is that it? Let's go to the next one.
Yep. So next week.
Right. Yeah, go ahead, Wayne.
Yeah. So next week we will talk about how to find deals in today's hot market. So it's like number 1 topic, where do I get the money? Number 2 topic, how do I find deals? So next week we will solve that problem, as well for you guys.
That's right. All right. What we got next?
Next, well.
Walton, put Win on there so you can tell them what we got next, brother.
So next slide. Well, next slide. So we will interview Brian Adamson, and then next slide. So again, he retired at age 34. Next slide. Then we will do a deal or no deal with Daryl Mansa. Again, this is part of benefit of being one of Mike's mastermind members. So with that, do we have Brian? Is he there, Brian Adamson? Yeah, make him stop sharing the screen and then make him a panelist.
All right, man. Hey guys, there's just a lot of great information. Is there anything else that we can share with you that'll help let you grow? Please share it with us. Put it in the chat, put it in the QA. We'll talk about it. Like I said, we are here for you. So whatever we can do or share with you that'll help you grow, that's what we're here for. This podcast is here to educate and entertain, baby. All right, and engage you and encourage. All right, and network in the chat, man. Share your information. Tell people what you're doing. Hey, Brian, look, man, we want to see you on the camera too, brother. Where you at? Take your microphone off. There he is. We're going to get to that. Is that Walter? Yeah, Walter. We're going to share with you. Brian, how you doing? Everybody give it up for our guest. We got Brian in the building, baby. No round of applause, Walt, man. Come on, man.
No.
Can I get the air hunt? You see what I'm saying, Brian? This is what I deal with, man.
It's a tough crowd, man. It's a tough crowd.
Yeah, Mike, you cannot hear the sound.
You can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it through there? Okay, well, they playing it. They playing it. We'll hear it. Hey, man, so look, man, look, before you get started, first of all, 34 years old and you retired?
I'm not 34 anymore. I'm 38 now. I'll be 39 this year, but.
Oh, okay. Close enough. Close. 39 years old, man. Hey, so look, tell us about your background and how you started in real estate.
Yeah, so I grew up, inner city Detroit, blue collar family. My dad was a firefighter for 30 years. My mom's a cashier at a grocery store for 25 years. So, work ethic was kind of put in me and instilled in me at a young age. But I always knew that working for 30 years wouldn't be my lot in life. And so, unfortunately, based on exposure, my first shot at entrepreneurship was in the streets. I found myself, getting into trouble around the time I was 17. I was looking at a 4 to 10-year felony. Was off to college with a full ride academic scholarship, which I lost it in the process, flunked out my freshman semester. At the same time, got kicked out the house, and my now wife, then girlfriend, got pregnant all at the same time. So,
okay, you was living the life.
I was wide open. You know what I mean? I was wide open, to say the least. And great grace of God, I found my way back to church during that time, gave my life to Christ. And you know how you work, Mike. You come as you are, you just don't get to stay as you are. And so,
that's right.
By His grace, got rematriculated back into college. And while I was there is when I found real estate. One of my homeboys in Detroit, he's probably 20 years my senior. He was flipping houses in 06. I had no idea what any of that meant, but I knew it was a legitimate way to make money, and I was all for it. And, stated income loans at all-time high. So he had buyers,
yes.
right, who weren't financially savvy to cover the down payment to move into their property. So I would put up my refund checks in college, cover their down payment. He'd give me a return on my investment. So I started off as a de facto private lender with a $7,000 refund check. And from there, I quickly figured out if they're buying houses with no job, I'm in college, I could do the same thing. So I started getting stated income loans. I bought like 3 rental properties from 2006 to 2007. And then I built a new construction home in 2007 for me and my family to move into when we graduated college. Unbeknownst to me, ignorance is expensive and we can't afford it. We were at the height of the market, and I was quickly upside down on everything I had leverage on. So I'm doing deed in lieu of foreclosures, short sales, which took 18 months to complete back then. Anything you could think about in terms of an exit strategy to get out of that bad debt, I was doing it. But fortunately, I built up enough liquidity to be aggressive in the market. So from 2010, I did end up going to corporate America, which I didn't think I was going to do while I was at college. I was going to get my engineering degree and just do real estate. And then when the market contracted and I didn't understand what was going on, it spooked me. So went to work. And then also I bought over 20 rental properties from 2008 to 10. I was like 24, 25 years old at the time. And just kind of rode that wave, did that in tandem with working for like 8 years, but I didn't plan, right? I didn't have a mentor. I hit my fundamental ceiling of achievement. I only knew what I knew, and that was as far as I could go. And I was doing everything out of my own pocket, right? And so I got throughput limited. And, not only that, I didn't plan for the rainy days. And so started having bigger basements and roofs and HVAC and all the heavy lifting that I didn't have the resources for, nor did I have the network or the acumen to go out and raise capital to partner up with people. And so I sold off 90% of my portfolio in the down market, 2013, 14, 15, and left essentially $2 million on the table had I kept that same portfolio
really?
To, the market of what it has been the last 24 months or so. So that being said, after I sold off the portfolio while I was climbing the corporate ladder, I knew that still didn't fulfill me. And I finally found a seminar, and coming from where I come from, like every connotation with seminar was like Primerica, pyramid scheme. So, I would juxtapose all of that kind of stuff, but I finally went, God spoke to me, I went, and it was the best thing that happened to me. It opened my eyes up to the fact that there was other people out there doing the stuff that I had aspired to do. And for the first time, I had a network, I had a resource center. I had been an enigma in my peer group, kind of doing stuff uncommon to what everybody else was doing. And, 40 grand later, plus another upsell, I was the perfect client because I had already known everything I had done on my own. And I knew the power of being around other people that were doing what I wanted to do. And so learn how to leverage private money, flip houses, wholesale, and really how to shore up my cash flow strategy as well. And, went off that first year, bought like 23 flips. I was printing money, as they told us from the front of the stage, until I started having issues and started having infrastructure problems and contractor issues and all the unsexy stuff they typically don't talk about at seminars. And while I was calling in to the coaches, I later figured out they were salespeople posing as coaches. So they're giving me cursory responses and I'm hemorrhaging money out at the same time. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just giving the context. And, in that process, I lost $500,000. And I tell people like I knew God before, but I got to know God during that time because, even your spouse, it's very few people that can identify with going through that kind of, loss. And most people ain't seen that kind of money as profit, much less be in position to lose it. And, but grace of God, he started to send the right people at the right time, helped me to put the right infrastructure in place and fill these gaps that I had in my processes. And, was really successful at flipping over 100 homes and wholesaled a ton of deals thereafter. And in retrospect, that became the birthing place for my now mentorship program, where I teach people internationally how to fix and flip wholesale cash flow, set up their infrastructure, raise private money, et cetera. And so that's been pretty cool. And in the process of all of that, just to bring it full circle, I found you because during COVID, I was in Clearwater Beach on the balcony praying, and God was like, he wanted me to start investing in commercial multifamily. So this was June of 2020. And prior to that, I had wholesale commercial buildings and things like that. But I hadn't really learned the game, right? And so faith without works is dead. I started seeking opportunities. So I started looking at different people you came across, and I identified with some of the stuff that you were talking about, predominantly that you were faith-based as well, in conjunction with, what you've been able to do and succeed in. And I bought the book, which I really bought the book to get the course, right? You had a great funnel set up. And when I got into the course, so this was June of 2020, I got the vision. I bought the book September, October, I think I came to like you guys had a seminar, I believe, the virtual seminar. So I did that. And literally by October 31st, I had my first 136 unit deal.
Oh, man.
That's nice. That fast, just that fast. And, it was interesting because I found it on LoopNet, although you were like, listen, I don't do nothing on LoopNet. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in the seminar, Mike, like, I do nothing on LoopNet, but I won't say it's no deals out there. And so I'm scouring LoopNet, CoStar, et cetera. I find this deal. It just so happened. I live in Orlando now. The seller was in Miami. I drove to Miami, got knee to knee with him, had lunch, and he was looking at me as if I was the least likely guy to pull this off. You know what I mean? I went in suited and booted the whole nine, but we're enigmas in this space to some degree. So long story short, he was like, look, I'm not putting it under contract because I had somebody string me along for 14 months. He said, but if you go up there, do your due diligence, at the end of it, you want to do it, we'll sign the contract. I said, okay, cool. So I'm literally spending tens of thousands of dollars on phase one. I'm going through the whole gamut, walking all 136 units, just acting on faith. And then I did get it under contract like the week before Thanksgiving. So imagine I'm going through due diligence for like, almost a month without being under contract, and finally got it under contract. And make a long story short, this guy was not a good guy. Let's just say that, right? And he was, he had tenants, because his management team had been left him. He had tenants that were collecting rent, and then he wasn't paying them. So they started burning up the units, right?
Oh,
so
wow.
So literally it was 16 buildings when we started, and over a 5-month span, they burnt up 5 of the buildings. 5 of the buildings. Wow. So all the while, I'm meeting with the mayor of Flint, his cabinet, the director of the Boys and Girls Club. Getting strong community ties, and I was getting the support of everybody, but the deal it got less and less sexy, and we were getting redlined by lenders, and, we came close to closing, and then they pulled out at the very last minute. And, it just so happened that this guy also owns some hotels, boutique hotels in Miami. So some of his Jewish friends from New York were interested in 171 units that he was also in the process of losing in Flint. So they come and backdoor me and get both buildings under contract. Now, they quickly realized they didn't have the infrastructure. So I get a text like the next day after we got cut out the deal, and they're like, hey, would you partner with us? So I go to Miami and meet these guys, and we do lunch and all the above. And what it came down to was two things. One, they were going to give me equity in the 136 units, but the 171, they wanted to pay me to run the project, move back to Michigan for 24 months, run the construction and all the above. And I told them, I said, I'm just not interested in doing that if I can't have at least a slither of equity, you know, because I can go and make my own active income essentially. And coupled with that, they came to Orlando. I met the rest of their partners, and I just had a vex in my spirit during that whole meeting. And I just, something didn't sit right with the type of people that they were. And, you know, I talked to my wife about it. Now this had, you know, $3-4 million worth of upside to it for me. So I talked to my wife, and she was like, maybe it won't be so bad, you know, once y'all actually start working together, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I prayed about it. I went to Miami I met with this billionaire, Jeff Hoffman. I just got invited to this random meetup, and he said something in that meeting. He said, the way he does business is he identifies, are they one of us? That's like their company culture. Are they one of us? And so that to me was my answer. So they weren't one of us. They weren't right. I didn't identify with them in that capacity. And so I pulled out of the deal. I got back from Miami that Monday. I pulled out of the deal. The very next day, I got a 40 unit under contract in Detroit. The very next day after I walked away from the deal. So I just say that to say, right, emotionally, we can get hyped up for certain things. It was the biggest deal in my career, right? And had a lot of financial upside to it. But at the same time, I didn't feel like that's what I was called to do. I felt like that 5 months, although it was a lot of time invested, it was just education, right? And I know how to make my own money. You can't compromise who you are, what you believe in, just for the sake of making a buck. And so, make a long story short, I went on after that. I bought 70 units last year. And I got another 20 under contract right now. We probably buy another 100 this year. So the goal is 2,000 in 5 years. It's aggressive. That's my, you know, audacious goal, as Mike will call it. And but it's just been a blessing to find you guys in the group. And you know, all of what you do, Mike, is just phenomenal. And the team, and Win and Nate and everybody, and just even the people inside the group as well.
Well, look, man, first of all, everybody give Brian a round of applause again. Give him the air horns. Throw them air horns in there. First of all, I don't need to interview you. I just need to put you on the stage. Just let them go.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean, you hit on every single point, right? I mean, you talked about where you came from, the challenges, of the obstacles that you go through, how even though you go to coaching, they may not share all the information. They're not as transparent as we are in our group here. You talked about partnerships. You just didn't go for the money. Something deep down is like, look, man, I don't feel right. And that's everything. Because if you get with the wrong partner just because they got the money, man, that could be terrible. That's a marriage that's going to fall apart. It's built on sand and not on stone, baby. And listen, when you partner with somebody, you potentially could be with them not just 3 or 5 years, but 10 or 20, or it could pass down. So you want to be very careful on who you partner with, man, because it ain't worth it. Because what you just showed was, man, don't be afraid to walk from the table. I know it's tough, especially when it's your first time, but you walked away after having 5 months and cash in the deal. You were connected.
Yeah. And
you walked away, and as soon as you closed the door on that, another one opened for you.
The very next day.
So that's pretty impressive, man. That's really impressive. Now, somebody asked, what is infrastructure? Now, when we're talking referencing infrastructure, that's just having capacity on being able to manage, to acquire acquisition. You know, do you have enough people that can do the construction? Do you have enough people that can manage the property? Do you have enough people that can do day-to-day? Do you have enough people to just do your financials, your accounting? That's what we're talking about, infrastructure. I myself, we're vertically integrated. So we got management, we got construction, we have management and development team. So I have certain infrastructure. So that's what we're talking about. And last but not least, man, you got the right shirt, brother. That shirt is fire. And anybody that's rocking them flowers today, man, you number one in my book, man. That's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, so look, you know what? This is our time to do some questions. So we'll keep you on, and maybe you can answer a couple of questions here. But look, if we have any questions out there, now's the time to ask, whether it's in the chat, whether you're in Facebook, whether you want to raise your hand. Look, we're going to answer your questions right now. So, Walt, Win,
we got some people with their hands up. Can we?
Yeah, we can go with the hands too, bro.
Yeah, but, well, first of all,
okay, Walt, I think I'll be quiet.
This one is a good question. This one is for Brian.
Oh, okay.
How did you find the 40 unit you got the next day?
On LoopNet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, seriously, on LoopNet, but it's a function of not doing the deal as it's listed, right? I got this thing down from 1.4 that they wanted. We bought it for 965.
Nice.
So, you know, we worked the due diligence process and price reductions and all of that. You know, a lot of the time, especially in a market like today, you're going to have to make a deal a good deal. And if they won't acquiesce, then you just don't do that deal. You know what I mean? But if you don't have a lot of boots on the ground or people kind of fishing for you off market, there are deals that's on LoopNet, and a lot of them sit because they overpriced. You just have to be firm enough to submit your offer and be okay with the outcome.
Hey, great. That's exactly right. Well, we got negotiation and everything. Do your due diligence. Say, hey, this is the best I can do. In summary, take it or leave it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to make the offer.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're not embarrassed by your offer, it's not low enough, right? Yeah. Yeah.
What's our next one, buddy?
All right. Let me look under. You said some people are raising their hand.
No, they took their hand.
They took their hand down. Okay. Any questions you guys have on Facebook? Let me check that. You guys have questions on Facebook? What about Instagram? Go ahead.
I'm not on Instagram. Thank you for doing this. How do you feel about DSR, which is debt coverage interest only loans? I have a situation where I need to refi 3 single family houses, and I'm afraid my DTI, debt to income, is going to be too high when I go house hacking a fourplex. Going the conventional route, need to maximize the cash flow. So how do you feel about debt coverage interest? Look, I actually like interest only loans. Most of my deals are interest only loans when we first start to move to stabilization. So even when I acquire something, I do it all cash, I'm using investment, that's interest only loan. Whether it's a private loan, whether it's a private investor, whether you call it preferred, I'm only doing interest only until the project kicks off, okay? Or till it's stabilized. So I really like it. But the key though, when you do it interest only, majority of the time you're doing interest only because you're creating value, or you know it's going to appreciate in value in, you know, a 5-year or less time frame, and you plan on holding it beyond or to that point. So if you can't create equity, meaning, let's say you bought a multi-unit for $1 million, right? And you got debt on that. If you don't believe it's going to be worth 1.5 or 1.8 or 2 million, and after you renovate it, then maybe you don't want to get a interest only loan, right? Because the value won't there. Because if you get something that's only worth $1 million, but it's got great cash flow, but it's only worth about 1.1, and you don't see the value going up, but you do see great cash flow, then you want to get an amortizing principal and interest loan. Okay. So hopefully that works out for you. But if there's value in there, hey, single family home, cash out, interest only loan, that would be great for you, right? Because not only that, the cash flow that you get, because your mortgage is down more, your profit margin should increase. All right. So I'm all for it, man, as long as it makes sense.
And I would just add to that, Mike, if his debt to income ratio is off and he's got 3 other doors, then I would question how much is his rental income, because they should add that additional rental income from those 3 to his income to better his ratio for his debt to income ratio.
Absolutely, Brian. That's great that you said that. Yes. So when you actually purchase the 4-family, not even including your houses, the cash flow / the leases that come with that property, if it's occupied, will be counted towards your debt income, which should reduce that for you so you can be able to apply for the loan. For example, I mean, look, when I started doing $1 million deals, I didn't have $1 million, right? But the cash flow of the property, they based it off the cash flow of the property and me as a sponsor. So there you go. Brian, a lot of people loving your story, man. They loving your story, man. That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it, man. Appreciate it.
Let's see, Uju, if I'm saying that right. I've been pre-approved for a FHA loan to purchase a 4-plex, but I'm in a very expensive market, Los Angeles. I love La La Land. So the down payment is really high. Any advice for how I can raise the down payment? That's pretty easy. There's numerous ways. I'm gonna say 2, Brian, if you got any different ones. If you want to reduce your down payment, 1, ask the seller to contribute to the deal. You know, do a carryback, meaning hold 10%. Because let's say, hell, in California, I mean, I'm sure that complex is probably $1 million, $1.5 million at minimum. And if you got to bring 20%, that's 300 grand. You can tell the seller, hey, why don't you hold 150 and I'll pay you interest on it. And you'll be like, well, why would they do that? Well, maybe they don't want to pay taxes on all that money. Maybe they still like the cash flow, but they wanted a bulk of their cash to go do another deal. That's one. Brian, do you have another way they could reduce their down payment?
I agree with that. I think that to your point, you got to find out what's their pain point. They may just be tired of carrying the debt service, or if it is free and clear, you know, maybe they just don't want the responsibility anymore. Sometimes these scenarios can be overwhelming for people. Like, I got my dad in the business back in 2008 or 9, and he was just completely overwhelmed by it. You know, and so for everybody to have different kind of tolerances, and if you find out what their pain point is, you can leverage that, and they possibly would carry back some of the debt, you know.
Yeah, so in essence, he's kind of saying, hey, just take over the existing debt. And they may not even want cash, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
he can also ask for a buyer's credit at closing. Offset the down payment plus all the prorations like prorated rents and security deposits, plus buyer credit. And then, you know, he can go through, do an inspection and get a deferred maintenance credit. So all of those credits will reduce your down payment significantly if you structure it the right way.
Yeah.
Now look, you're doing house hacking. I literally did this. I asked my realtor to let me borrow their commission. Invest in this deal with me, or let me borrow your commission. Because on $1 million, now I think LA is probably 2%, maybe 4%. But that could be what, 40, 60, $70,000 commission. Is that right?
Yeah.
2%. Yeah. I mean, that's 20 grand, 30 grand. Look, that reduced your thing down by $20,000 or $30,000. Hey, these are all just ideas, man. Think outside the box. Yeah. And then Mitch on here said, hey, You could probably take a loan from your 401k, from your down payment. Look at this group, man. They boss around here, man. Man, give the group a round of applause, Walt. Man, they so awesome, man. Okay, so you know what? We got to get out of here because we got deal or no deal. But everybody, that's enough for Q&As. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Hey,
God bless you, brother, man. And man, I hope you got some more shirts, man, so we can go hit the conference circuit.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you from having me, Mike.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, Win, who we got next? Walt.
Yo. Yeah. What you need?
Who we got next?
I'm sorry. All right.
We got Daryl's coming on.
Yep, Daryl is coming on.
Yeah, he raising your hand. Why are you raising your hand, Daryl? We bringing you on, bro.
Oh, you got him.
I don't have him.
No, hold on. Let me see. Daryl. Once allowed to talk.
There you go.
Oh,
that look. Oh, okay. I thought that.
I got it.
You got it?
You got it. Hey guys, is this great information? Tell me yes. Is there anything else, any topics you guys want to learn about? What other information go? But man, is this great info? Man, I love to thank my team because we just want to keep putting it on you, enhancing your mind, man. But remember, imagination is everything. It's the preview of what's to come forward. All right.
All right, there's
there he is. All right, man. Split the screen with that guy, man. He got a nice background right there, man.
No, that's just a virtual background.
There you go.
All right, Daryl, man. So what you got, brother? It's time for deal or no deal. All right, let's see what we can put together, man. What you got?
Yep. So there's a 42 unit in New York, close to a college, really close to where my target market is. And so I really wanted you to take a look at it and see if you can bounce some ideas. There's a land component to it that I'm looking to flip back into the deal. And so I want to see if you have any ideas on that as well.
Okay, yeah, I heard a little bit about that deal. Tim did something similar, but let's look at the numbers and go from there. Are you sharing the screen or Wendell, are you sharing the screen?
Daryl is, so allow him to share the screen.
Well, no, I thought you guys had it. I'm using my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let me look for it. Not a problem. Yeah, because I couldn't access. It is asking me to sign up or something like that. Hold on.
All right, so Daryl, tell me a little about this deal since before we get there, because what I'm hearing is how total acres.
So it has 95 acres of land attached to it.
Yeah, it's asking me to request access, Daryl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's try
if you can give me access again for some reason. While you're doing that, so let me read for everybody what Daryl has here. It's 42 units, Mike, with additional 95 acres of land. It is being sold for 4.5 million, the 42 units, and the land for 2.5 million.
All right, when you should have access now.
Okay. It's still giving me, you know what? Because I've accessed Mike at nasoinvest with the s.com, so maybe that's why. So weird. Okay. Anyway, I sent you the request again.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right, I got lost. All right, I'm back, baby. I'm back.
All right. So Mike, since you didn't hear it, so the deal is 42 units.
Yeah.
Additional 95 acres of land.
95 acres?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Is this like a mountain? that's big. So 42 units, 95 acres of land, and then it's the 42 units is being sold for 4.5 million, and the land for 2.5 million.
Okay, all right, let's break it down. Now see, listen, here's the great thing about this. you don't have to have this calculator. You just need a calculator. You don't have to have all these fancy spreadsheets. We're gonna break this down real quick for you. All right. But
So
I need people's participation. So how many units we got? 42?
Yep.
Right.
I shared it now when you should have access.
yeah.
Try again.
Let me share it now.
Oh, you're about to pull it up now? Okay.
Yep. This is the one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
42.
Okay, here we go. So we got
42
asking price is 42 units. It's a C property, B neighborhood. The rents are 900. You got a potential $500 increase in rent. All right, that sounds pretty good off the rip. You're using what expense ratio are you using? I can't see. Is it
50%?
Okay, that's fair. The cap rate is about 4.3. It could be 5. Price, this could be worth 200 a door fixed up.
Yeah, that's conservative.
That's conservative. And right now they're asking, divided by 42, they're asking for 107 a door. And the market is already at 200 a door.
Yeah, the market is actually higher than that.
That sounds good. So far, so good. You think the value will get to 7.3 in these 20 a door? Now, why do you think it's 20 a door? What made you think it's 20 a door?
So there is a nicer, newer unit that's currently being built right next door to it. And so what I want to do is get our unit as nice as possible and charge a little bit lower in rents.
Yes. Yeah, and actually when I gave that feedback to Daryl, Mike, before he was assuming 10,000 per door, and to charge like 100, was that 100 below market? I mean below that new construction, and I told him 100. I mean you gotta make it very competitive, and to make a unit like this, between 41 to 60 years old, comparable to new construction, you gotta put more work into it, and then charge like even less than the new construction to be competitive. So all of these numbers are actually very conservative, Mike.
So you're saying all the words I like to hear. All the words I like to hear. Okay, so can you scroll up a little bit? So he's got to put 20,000. So he's got to put an 840 in it. And so 840 puts him at a total of what? 4.53 basically.
Yeah, you can get for 4 million, 4.8 million.
That puts him at, let's just say 5 million. All right. Somebody's actually going to get the spreadsheet. If you go to our website, nassauinvest.com. Oh, wait a minute. You changed it. It's a backslash. What is that? Just put it in the chat for him.
Analyzer. Now, because Daryl is a mastermind member, he gets the full version of this. So, for the public, you just get the quick calculator here that you guys can see. So it still works, but you have more details in the full version.
So hey, so Daryl, one quick, I'm just doing the rents. You said the rents, because you're up to how the rents could get to how much?
So right now we have it at
1452,
and that's a conservative number compared to everything else.
That's 60,000 a month times 12. That's 731 an annual income. Then use the 0.5 expense ratio. That's 365 potential NOI. What did you come up with before debt?
Yeah, that's right.
Scroll down. 365.
Got it.
And then after existing NOI, you're at 183. And hold on, let me see something. 183. Let's see what the current value is. Well, let's see. 183, 521. And they selling at a 4.5 cap right now, or 4.6.
Well, based on the 200,000 per unit.
I'm just turning the current market value. The current market value for this thing is 3.6, or it's 185, 521. I'm roll with me for a second. Yeah, so right now the value is anywhere between 3.6 to 4 million. That's what this thing is worth right now.
Right.
But we need to be able to see the upside. And we already said the upside is putting almost 800,000. So we're going to say 1 million. And he could be in this thing for 5.5. I'm just rounding numbers off. And the future value is 365, which you came up with a value of
7.3.
So
at a 5 cap.
And then how much money do they have to put in the deal?
1.4. Assuming 4 million purchase price, Mike.
Well, what about construction and everything?
That's included.
So wait a minute. So there's potential $2 million profit plus the 142, right? Divided by 1,452. I mean, just the sell alone gives you a 2.3 equity multiplier. That's pretty good.
Yep.
And then what's the potential net cash flow a year? Is that the 135 or is it 291?
The 135. 135,895 per year.
How many per year? And how long do you think it'll take you to do renovations?
Well, we're budgeting about 2 years just because it's fully leased. And so we got to get these tenants to, once their lease is up, to actually move to a newer unit. So we're going to probably just do 1 unit and then move them in. And so shuffle around. And it's going to take us about like 2 years to shuffle everybody through.
Wow. And so overall, your cash on cash for the project is 11%. That's okay, right? Because what that tells me is you can give your investor a preferred 7% or 6%, and then y'all can split the remaining. You're at a 2.76, a little below my metric, but you're saying you're conservative. You believe the rents could be higher. I mean, what do you think the rents could be at per unit?
So I spoke to the actual property manager for the unit next door, and they're renting the 1 bedrooms for so it's $1,550, and the 2 bedrooms for $1,895. And so we're doing 1 bedrooms. I think we have it a little bit lower. We have the 1 bedroom at $1,395, and then the 2 bedroom at $1,695. So,
well, I like this because you're saying this is conservative. This is not really the upside. I believe the market's going to change. I believe you're going to see a higher rent increase. I believe the cap rate's going to, well, we don't know because of interest rates. But I think you have a deal. I think you got a deal, man.
Yeah.
Give them the air horns, man.
So that's not even talking about the land, right? So
yeah,
now let's talk about this land. So how much is the land that you remain? How many and how much is that buildable? So you got 90 acres, and how much does this apartment sit on? How much land the apartment sit on?
The apartments are actually not on that land. That's just extra land.
Oh,
the apartments
this is a separate deal, basically.
It's not even in that location.
Land. It's in the location. It's just not. So one of the apartment buildings is on the land, and it's a separate acre. So it's 96 acres of land. One apartment is on 1 acre. There's 95 acres of land separate that's being sold. And so that can be separated out of the deal. But what we want to do is take that in the deal and then do a couple things to it and flip it out and flip it and get the money back into the deal. So there's a potential.
I think so the big thing is finding out what you can do with the land now. So when you get into land, it's a little different. You got to figure out what the zoning will call for, or what people believe you can easily get zoned, right? Because 95 acres that's a lot of land right now, brother.
Yeah, so
I'm begging for that. Go ahead.
So one thing they did is the sellers actually got the land rezoned in 2015 from agriculture to apartments, and they got approved for 150 units. It's just that that's the most they could spend. They the most we can spend is 150 units to build. They didn't have enough money. And so I think going back to the town and actually getting approved for more, and doing doing a master plan with an architect and then putting that together and selling it to a developer.
Well, you know what? That's a doable deal. here's the thing, it's just a matter of what you can sell the land for, because now you get, first of all, it's a doable project because you can build, you can lease for at least $2 a square foot. You already proved that, right? So that's the big thing right there. Man, my camera killing me today, man. Okay, brother, I need to get some more color on me or something, man. Black Jesus. Hey, but you need to get some more, figure out what the value you can sell the land for, right? What's the square footage, price per square foot that you can get? And that comes from, a different broker here. Oh, maybe that's absolutely good. Shit, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Shit. All right. So that's some of the things that you need to consider when doing this deal here. Let me do that. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, so Mike, so
Yeah.
John Cashman is Daryl's coach, right? And then actually Tim.
Yeah.
But I think Daryl, you discussed this with John as well, right? And then you discussed
Yes,
it with Tim. So it's like,
Yeah, I
and
spoke
then
to
now
John
with
and
you,
Tim.
so all the coaches agree that this is a good deal. So, and I think the
Right.
land is just a bonus. I think, like
It could be. It could be. If it's already approved, do you think that market is going into a large development? Where are they going with it?
Yeah, so right now it's outside of the city limits. And so it's attracted a lot of developers because it's not as restrictive, right? And so it's in an area that high rents, high demand outside of city limits. You can actually build on it. And developers are actually building, like I said, there's a developer building right next to it. And so the plan is to potentially just wholesale it to him, flip it to him with a plan in place that says this is what it's going to look like.
I would see if you can tie the land up for a while to structure a deal.
Okay.
Just tie it up, but I don't, because you got 90 acres, he may try to carve out that. How much of that land is pre-approved for the development?
150 units.
Yeah, how much of that is approved?
The land, the entire land itself, just because
the 90 acres is approved for that.
Yep. That's what they went for. Yeah, that's what the sellers went to the town for.
Okay. Now I think you keep on to that land because you got so much more, but I would want to do some due diligence on what we could do with the land as well, right? Because I think although 2.5 million for 90 acres makes a lot of sense, but if you can't build on none of it, it don't make no sense, right? So, you just got to get your due diligence on it, your engineering on the land, how much is buildable and how much is not, to make your final decision. And you just make that inclusive. So, but I would go after that project. This is in Ithaca, New York.
Yeah. Upstate New York.
Good for it. Yeah, go for it, brother. What do you think about raising capital?
Right now, so I actually had connected with Keisha last week to talk about it and shared it with her. So I think I'm just going to connect with everyone in the mastermind and see what we can do about raising capital on it.
Well, go after it, man. That's really great. I think you got a winner here, and you got 3 people that signed off. Yeah. So go for it, brother.
It's now 4.
You got the board. The board has officially signed off on it.
Like, man, this is a good deal. I mean, this is cool. Daryl, congratulations for finding this one, because
I think you're gonna do better than what you expect. I think you're gonna do better but even the worst case, I can live with your worst case scenario. Here. And the worst case scenario is you're only gonna get 12 or 1,300 a unit. And then it's probably only do a 2.3 or 2.4x.
Yeah.
But I really don't see that at all. You already said you did conservative numbers. You said you did a 50% expense ratio. I think your ratio is going to be better. I think you're going to be more like a 55, 60% ratio profit.
Either way, yeah.
40% going to expenses, 6% going to your NOI. So I think you're going to do extremely well here. Everybody give it up for my man, Daryl, man. That's all right.
Thanks, Daryl.
Hey, well, let us know how we can help or talk to your coach, and we'll get it done. Look, if you want to join the mastermind and have success like this, look, go to NassauInvest.com, wait list, and remember, I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs. We're looking for hungry, humble, and coachable, all right? Hey, the dream is real. Listen, because we're going to get out of here, we're just going to jump right in, and I got to keep on this tour of Raleigh, North Carolina. Listen, guys, it's all about the dream, but you got to take action steps. My life would not be the same if I didn't take action. Hope is not a strategy. It's a concept, and you need it, right? Because faith is the substance of things hoped for. But with faith with no works is dead. So you can believe all your word, but if you don't put no action steps, it's not going to come to reality. You're not going to make it a real dream. You're not going to be sitting in the driver's seat. And that's what I did. I wanted to change the lifestyle, the vision, the idea, the way I was living. Look, man, I wanted some shine, man. I wanted to bling a little bit, baby. I want to support my design outfits, man. But it's not all about that. What I really want to do is change the paradigm of my family. I wanted to change the address that we reside in. I wanted to change the education that my kids' friends receive. Yes, I'm sponsoring kids to go to different schools now. I'm doing scholarships. Look, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm telling you, if you want to change your situation, your paradigm, your surrounding, look, hoping and praying ain't gonna just get it. I wanted to do more than just pray. So I prayed and took action. And because of that, we changed our surroundings. And it could be through something. You don't have to be somebody that's in their face all day. But I love coaching. And through coaching, through sports, through our classes, we're changing lives, man. And that's what gives me my great high. That's what makes my pupils dilate. When I see Tim Vest retire from his job, I'm seeing Brian go from federal charges to the corporate room to the board room. And I see my man Daryl over here getting thumbs up to go buy deals. These are life changes. Why? Because they ain't got to report to the 9 to 5, the 10 to 10, or the 312s. All right. So look, I just want you to take control over your life, man. There's nothing wrong with working. Look, there's nothing wrong with a job as long as it's bringing fulfillment. See, when I get my distribution, see, most of y'all are just picking up a check every week. You're just picking up a check, right? But when I get my check, when I get my deposit, I get fulfillment. I'm fulfilled. Fulfilled. So look, that's my time for the day, man. God bless you. God keep you. May God bless you beyond your belief, but not your capacity. And remember, you're one big deal away. Hey, see you next week, man. And thanks so much for joining us. I really enjoy being with you guys, and I hope to see you all the time, all right? Hey, let's give a shout out, man, to my man, Cam, and it's Carmen. We got Boyd, Dalla, Greer, Patesh, Jonathan, Jose, Josie, K White. K, we might get this deal done, baby. It's looking good. Kenneth, Cravani, Detroit in the building again, man. Gladney, man, he's another one, man. That's right. Malika, Mark, Matthew. Hey, that's it, man. Look, man, thanks so much for joining us, man. I'm so glad you guys could attend. And to our guests, Brian and Daryl, hey, man, nothing but the top of the world. I see you at the top of the mountain, man. because I don't like being up there by myself, man. I want to be standing up there right for you. Hey, look, man, and remember, I share all this so y'all could be training, baby. We ready for that fight, man. Get in the game, man. Get in that boxing ring and let's duke it out, brother. All right. This is Black Jesus checking out. Peace out, man. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye, Mike. Bye, everyone. And you can watch the replay in our Facebook group, Apartment Investing Secrets. So go there and click on that Facebook Live so that you can watch the recording there.
And our YouTube channel.
And our YouTube channel, that's right. We will upload this on our YouTube channel, Mike Ely Videos. We need to come with a better name.
Yeah.